Hello and welcome to Sibling Filmery. I'm Donata,
I'm Reggie.
and we're at the movies tonight watching Logan, the supposed last installment of the Wolverine Origin Series. And so, of course, Wolverine is Hugh Jackman. We also have Professor X, played by Patrick Stewart. This wonderful young lady that plays mini Wolverine. Her name is Daphne Keene. And the bad guy,
Boyd Holbrook.
Apparently he's in Narcos. I don't watch Narcos. My brother does.
Excellent.
And my best friend does.
We'll review it. It's good.
Okay. So what did you think of Logan?
It was good. It was deep.
It was very deep.
It was deep. Tugged at the heartstrings.
I ain't never cried it. The only action movie I ever cried in was Armageddon, but I did cry at the end of this.
Definitely, I would say probably the only like superhero movie that I got emotional about. I guess I didn't cry, but I got emotional. And it's it's not that I don't cry because I do cry at movies, but this one I didn't cry, but I was emotional. It was. They said it was like it's the most different hero movie you've seen.
It is a very different hero movie. So it's 2029. What's the man's name that made Wolverine? Well, he didn't make him. He put the animanium in his.
God, I would have been able to tell you had you not asked me.
It's like Captain something or Sergeant something or whatever. His son is actually come up with a way to control the mutants and kind of exterminate them and this whole thing. And so he's basically fighting his son. And so
what?
It was just a different take. Here's the thing that I struggle with the whole time. Because Reggie's always asking me questions. Mm-hmm. Have you ever thought what would happen when mutants got old? I had never had this thought before. So what happens when Professor X gets old and can't control said mind reading ability? And this thought had never crossed my mind. And I know that was something that the government probably was thinking about and that kind of thing. So that made it really, really interesting because they are very old in this movie.
Yeah, and like the guy said, I mean, the guy, he was the bad guy, but not to get too much away, but if you think about Professor X is the most powerful mutant on the planet, right? And so if he loses his mind, then what does that mean? Some crazy stuff can happen. You know what I mean?
And it's something to think about.
Yeah, it is something to think about.
That was an interesting take. And I am now, now that we've seen, all the X-Men or whatever, I want to say now that Wolverine is the most powerful because even when all this stuff going on, and I won't talk about this movie, I'll talk about other movies, but, when the Phoenix going crazy, when everything else, he's always able to just fight his way to the front and stab somebody or do what he need to do because he doesn't get affected as easily.
But in this one is probably more than he's ever been affected.
Yes.
This had to be. Well, let me ask you this: was this the most bleak superhero movie you ever seen?
It was very bleak. But has X-Men ever been this bloody?
This is a rated R. This is the only rated R movie. Well, other than
this was a lot of cussing, and it was a lot of heads rolling too.
Okay, so
heads was coming off, and I ain't never seen that.
So I catch a lot of flack because I think sometimes I come off as this holier than thou type dude. Some of the stuff, but I'm far from it. But I will say this: I do feel like they tried to make sure that they got an R. Like when they had an R rating with the movie, they cussed. Like I think they just did it for no reason.
They were cussing.
It's like, okay, it's an R rated movie. Let's go ahead and make sure that we get, we deserve that R rating.
I will say though, with all the stuff that was going on, I've been cussing too, cussing and hitting the truck, cussing.
It's more realistic, I guess you would say.
Because there was a lot going on.
And it was Wolverine, who probably should be cussing in all the movies, to be honest.
Yeah, he should, because that's him.
That's him.
Let's talk about Daphne. Let's talk about her character, Laura. This is a bad little girl.
She's bad.
A bad little girl.
Which leads me to ask you this. If you got adamantium in your bones and you heal fast, does that automatically mean that you're like a ninja all of a sudden?
No, they train them. Remember?
Oh, they trained them?
Yes.
Okay.
you know, you'll have to figure out who the them is, but they
okay.
try. Do you see
that makes sense. That does. I guess I must have.
When I say this a bad little girl, the previews don't even.
No.
They don't do it don't do it justice. I thought that we had seen. Actually, I thought this was going to be a bad movie. I thought we saw what we were going to see, but took it to another level.
Okay.
In action, it was great action scenes. It wasn't flat. I mean, even though it tore at your heart, you're on this emotional journey with them. But they were still cutting people's heads off.
You know what? The thing too about it is, they really, really tried to develop I don't want to say develop the characters, because the characters are really much developed other than Laura, but they really showed a lot of interaction between Professor X, Wolverine, and Laura. I mean, they made a point. So that being said, it wasn't like wall to wall action. It was some scenes where they wanted to show their relationship. Yeah, it was.
Very tender and raw, because he's not tender, so his tender is raw.
Exactly.
I mean, he was just like, sit down. I'm like, whoa. Okay.
So some of the best scenes, fight scenes I like, and I probably am telling too much, but I don't care because I gotta tell you this, was when they were fighting together, like him and her fighting together with like it was so freaking awesome. I'm telling you. It's about like when
oh Lord, I can't even think of her name, in Batman versus Superman.
Wonder Woman.
When Wonder Woman stepped up on the scene, like you was like, woo.
Yeah.
It got that good.
I mean, you got two like animals. Basically, that's the way they act.
That's where
it was so gangster. I swear,
it was very gangster. I will say that. And so I will say this. I'll add this piece to it. I love different types of chase scenes and trying to make it creative. I've never seen anybody use a fence to knock somebody out. I love stuff like that. I love, no one will ever beat Captain America, Winter Soldier, when he ripped the steering wheel off. That just, it's always a classic. It was just
okay. So now here we go.
Oh Lord, rank them.
Yes.
Rank the movie.
Where's this fit? Still not better than Winter Soldier.
That's better than Winter Soldier. And then right up there is, of course, Dark Knight, and up there too is Deadpool.
Yes.
But this is up there. I mean, this is top 5. I don't know who didn't fell off, but this is in top 5.
Yeah, I guess I give it top 5. Listen, y'all have to be open-minded though, and just realize that it's not gonna be wall
action.
But the action scenes are good. When they do have them, they're good. Oh, I gotta tell my sister something she don't know. She was late. She didn't see the Deadpool little mini story. You missed it. It was funny as you know what. I said I wasn't gonna tell them.
Now I'm gonna sneak in and go see one. All right, so check us out on Sibling Filmery, www.siblingfilmery.com. Peace out.